Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name's Jenny and this is Arnold the Praying Penguin, and we create videos every Saturday about prayer, about exploring the Bible and about living out your faith. So happy February. It's officially baby month in my house. Baby is due towards the end of February, but actually for you guys, I'm probably going to stay pregnant for a little bit longer because I am pre-filming and trying to pre-film as many videos as I can for February and March and maybe even kind of a bit of April. Whether they are every week or every other week and how long they last for will probably depend on how far I get, how much energy I have and when baby does actually arrive. But hopefully you guys will keep seeing me here and I will then appear at some point with no bump in a couple of months. So make sure you're subscribed to see all of the videos throughout this period on the kind of maternity leave and when I do come back, because we're going to continue to talk all things prayer, exploring the Bible, living out your faith, and maybe babies every now and again, because babies are cute. But for today, it is still kind of the beginning of the year, so I thought it'd be a good time to talk about books, and some of the books I want to read in 2022. You may have noticed I haven't been doing my Penguins Choose My TBR game for a little while, and that's mostly because over the next few months it's just not going to be realistic to follow a TBR. I imagine my reading's going to be very up and down, so we're going to take a pause on the Penguins Choose My TBR game, which Arnold is very sad about. But instead I just wanted to chat about some of the books that I want to prioritise in 2022 that I really want to get to this year. If you want to follow along with my reading at more of kind of a real time, then do follow me on the Storygraph, which is the app and website that I use to track my reading, and I will link that down in the description below. But I have picked out 10 books, well it's actually 11 books because I added one extra at the end, but it kind of comes in a pair. So it's kind of 10, 11 books that I really want to get to this year. So we're just going to chat about these books and why I want to prioritise them and why they are kind of my top books to read in 2022. I'd love to hear your recommendations and books that you really want to prioritise as well down in the comments. But for now, let's get into the books. So the first book that I want to prioritise is Anxious People by Frederick Backman, and we are off to a good start because I have actually already started reading this. Not by very much, as you can tell, but there is a bookmark in it, I have read more than one page, we've started. And Frederick Backman is an author that I've heard a lot about, a lot of people love him, and a lot of his books really appeal to me. And this is the first one from him that I am reading, so I'm really excited to get stuck in and see if I like his writing style. But this is a book about a bank robbery kind of gone wrong, and he ends up taking hostage this group of people at, I think it's some kind of flat viewing. We haven't really got into the details yet, but some kind of flat viewing. They end up getting taken hostage in this bank robbery, and it's kind of uncovering what's going on. I think it's going to be very character centred and just exploring the different motives and backstories of all these different people that are taken hostage. So we'll see how that goes. The next book that I want to prioritise is quite a bit heavier, literally, and this is Fundraising Management, Analysis, Planning and Practice by Sargeant and Ayse Jay. And yeah, this doesn't kind of scream joy and excitement, but this is a book that I need to read for my course that I'm doing on fundraising. Fundraising is my job, if you didn't know that. And this is a book all about fundraising, basically. And it covers lots of different topics about fundraising and stuff that I need to learn to complete my course. So I do want to complete this and read it because I want to complete my course. And I need to read this to sorry Arnold. I need to complete this to complete my course. So it's on my list of priorities. The next book that I want to prioritise is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, and this is a book that I feel like I've had for quite a long time. I don't think I actually have had it for all that long. I think I got it last year, but it is a book that I feel like has been on my shelf for a long time looking at me, and I've wanted to read it for a long time but haven't got to it. So 2022 is the year that we're going to get to it, hopefully. I know Tuesday over at the Crafty Cottage is also got this book and is interested in reading it, so hopefully she hasn't read it yet and maybe we'll do a buddy read of it at some point this year. I think that would be really fun. But from what I've heard, this is a kind of historical fiction, mystery type book where there is a marsh girl and then someone is killed and they suspect her, and it's kind of figuring out who committed the murder. A bit kind of courtroom mystery type book. So I'm really interested. A lot of people have loved it, a lot of people have not loved it, so we'll see. Book number 4 that I want to read is Kalolo Hill by Nima Shah, And this is a book that I actually got for Christmas this year, and I'm really keen to get started, partly because it's beautiful. So this book is set in Uganda 1972, and it's about a time when all Ugandan Asians were told to leave the country within 90 days? Yeah, 90 days. And they had to take everything with them. And it's about this family that are forced to kind of leave and make the decision to leave their home and what happens to them. And this is a kind of a period of history, an area of the world that I don't know a lot about, so I'm really interested to learn more and to see what this story is like. The next book that I want to prioritise follows this yellow pattern, and that is 1,000 Splendid Suns by Tassini. And last year I read The Kite Runner and really enjoyed that. That was on my top 5 books of 2021, so I'm really excited to continue reading from this author. I don't actually know that much about this book other than kind of the blurb. It seems to be about this 15-year-old who was sent to Kabul to marry someone, and then a friendship grows between her and a local teenager, and then the Taliban take over, and it's about their experience of that, which kind of sounds like it's got similarities to The Kite Runner, about this kind of friendship and how that friendship is impacted by things that are happening where they live. So I think it's probably going to follow that similar kind of idea, of which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed seeing that relationship and that friendship and how that was impacted by everything going on around them. The next book that I wanted to mention is M is for Mama by Abbie Halberstadt. And I don't have a copy of this because it is not out yet. This is coming out on February 1st, I believe it will be released, both in the UK and in the US. Abbie is someone that I follow over on Instagram, and I really appreciate her thoughts and reflections and different views and the things that she shares and the encouragement that she shares. And I think this is going to be a really interesting book to read as I become a mum. I think it coming out at the beginning of February is really interesting timing and really great timing to hopefully kind of maybe read some of it before baby comes, but also after and ongoing. I think it'll be really encouraging for me, really rooted in scripture, and just give me some ideas and thoughts and reflections and encouragement as I become a mum. Another book that I don't have a copy of is Songbirds by Christie Leftery, and Christie is the same author that wrote The Beekeeper of Aleppo, which I read last year and really loved. And this book, Songbirds, is set in Cyprus, and it's about a woman who goes missing, and about, I believe it's her husband or boyfriend and her employer looking to try and find her and find out what happened to her. So I'm really interested to read that and hopefully get my hands on that. Book number 8 is Without a Country by Ayse Kulin and translated by Kenneth Dakin. So this is a World War II historical fiction, which I tend to love and I tend to really enjoy, but it's from a very different perspective to normal. It's about this family that have fled to Turkey, and then it continues to follow their journey as they live in Turkey and as they start to experience some anti-Semitism in Turkey as well after the war. And this is again an area of history that I don't really know a lot about. I don't know a lot about Turkey in general and about life in Turkey at that time. So I think this will be really interesting to kind of learn more about that and about their experience. Ayse Kulin is a Turkish author, and this has been translated from Turkish, so I think that will be really interesting as well. Book number 9 is Parting Shot by Linwood Barkley, and if you've been around on my channel for a little while and seen a few of my other bookish videos, you'll know that Linwood Barkley is an author that I really enjoy, and this is actually the 4th book. Well, yeah, there's 3 books and then a 0.5 kind of mini book in the series of the Broken Promise series. So there's the main trilogy, a little extra book, and then this is kind of an add-on, from what I can tell, to the Broken Promise series. And I've really enjoyed the Broken Promise series. I've read all of the other books so far and really enjoyed them, found them so interesting. So I'm really intrigued to see how this will kind of follow on from that and see how it will connect, because the blurb doesn't really tell you how it's connected to any of the other books. So I'm quite intrigued to see what that's like. From the blurb, it seems like a young girl is killed by a drunk driver and people want justice, but the person who's accused is only a kid himself. So there's lots of kind of threats of revenge and other things that need to be investigated by Cal Weaver, who is a private investigator. So I'm really intrigued to see what this book is about and how it links into the others. And then book number 10 that I want to prioritise this year is Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. And this is a book that everybody raves about, everybody loves it. And it from what I can tell, it kind of takes you back to some of the basics of the Christian faith, why we believe what we believe, what's important, and from what I've heard really illustrates that in a really clear and easy to understand way. So I'm really intrigued to see what this is like. I've seen it recommended so many times, so I think it's definitely time that I get to read it. And finally, I do have an 11th book because I'd written this list and planned this video and included all of these books, and then the very next day I got a gift in the post. A Christmas present from Tuesday over at the Crafty Cottage. I will link her channel down in the description, and it included this cute little penguin all the way from America because she's so incredibly generous. And it also included the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis, so the same author as Me Christianity. And I think she read my mind because I'd literally been thinking about this book and seeing if I could find it on Libby, my library app, literally like the day before, and then this showed up. So that is hilarious and really cool. So I'm so excited to actually have a copy of this that I can read. This, from what I know, is a slightly kind of satirical take on these letters that are being written from a demon to Satan. So I think that'll be weird to read, but also really interesting. I think it could be not the kind of book that I've ever read before. So I'm really interested to see what that's like. And obviously a huge thank you to Tuesday for sending this to me. I'm so excited to read this. So this is our pile of books that we want to prioritise in 2022. We will check back in at the end of the year and see how far we get with this stack of books, see whether we get all of them read. Do let me know if you have any other recommendations you think I should add to this list, just to make my life more difficult. Any other books that you think I should read this year in particular. Let us know down in the comments. But for now, we hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please do give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos from me and Arnold. If you're interested in more bookish videos, do check out these two videos that are on screen. But for now, we will see you next Saturday for a new video. Bye!